All right, so this video follows the one where we set ourselves up with the emp table. Let's see how we would create a trigger that would basically cause an explosion if someone tried to update a salary where it was greater than the maximum salary. All right, so we're going to start this off with a pretty easy trigger. We're going to go, tell you what, actually, let's create myself a new session. I'm going to go create or replace trigger. And I guess if I'm going to make it blow up, it's going to be blowing up before, let's say, an update. Well, I'm only going to set this for an update. It obviously could be set for an insert as well. Actually, let's do both. So before update insert, emp is the name of the table. Max sal, I'll just give it a name like that, and it's a trigger. All right, so this thing is going to fire off before the update or actually update or insert on emp. Now, right now, I'm just going to make it a statement level trigger just for fun. I'm going to go begin, don't do anything. And this is just my way to basically test the header of the trigger to make sure the header of the trigger is actually going to work. Put a little slash, let's go. And the guy worked like a champ. Awesome. Good deal. So now, when we look at this guy, we need to basically say, let's say right now 5,000 is the magic number. So we need to basically know, well, what is the salary before and is it greater than 5,000? So for us to understand that, we got to go for each row. Now at least we'll know what the salary was, because what I can do here is I'm going to go DBMS output put line. Remember, this is that fancy printing statement from Oracle. I'm going to basically say salary was concatenated. Yeah, that's right. Concatenated with some value. Old.sal. Remember, row level triggers have an old version of this row. So it's going to have the column. It's like a record, basically. Concatenate that with space. Oh, actually, that's just a little space. New salary would be, concatenate that with new.sal. Now, if you're not sure what's going on with the colons here, basically what's happening is that a row level trigger has an old variable. It's called old, and an old variable called, new variable called new. All right. These are composite variables. They're basically records. They would have the entire structure of the row what it was, which is old, and the row what it'll be, which is new. All right. So now I got two semicolons, so that's going to be a problem. Let's run this thing. Bang, it compiled cleanly. Great. Remember, in Oracle land, in order for me to see a print statement, I have to have my server output on. Server output on. All right, so let's just turn this thing on. This is a session level event, so once I turn it on once, I don't have to worry about it again. Okay, it turned on, and so now if I go and I say update salary, or update emp, excuse me, geez Louise, update emp, set salary equal to salary, we'll just say multiplied, where are you? Multiplied by 1.1. So everyone's going to get a 10% salary. Everyone will stay ahead of inflation. So let's clear this output and let's see what happens when I do the update now. It blows up because there's no such thing as salary, Grant. It's called sal here. I'm so not used to dealing with this old table. Okay, so now let's clear my shame and let's do it again. Boom. So right now we see that the salary was 5,000. Now it's 55. It was this. Now it's that. Let's see, there's another one. Here's an easy one too. 800. It's now 880. Right. So that's awesome. So now we can kind of see how that would work. So now what I'm going to say is I'm going to say if the new sal, not case sensitive, but I'm making it case sensitive. If it's greater than 5,000, which we know is the maximum salary, okay, then blow up. Now, in this case, I'm just going to make it blow up by saying blow up, but we're going to make it blow up better in a few minutes. So basically, new salary, boom, it would be this, concatenated, which is more than allowed. And I must have something going on here. That's it. Okay, good. And you need, in this language, you need to have an end if. So end if. All right, perfect. Let's get to some white space here, some white space. There's my new trigger. Ah, my goodness. You know what I realized? Triggers are DDL. So what that means is I've now gone ahead and corrupted my it's committed those updates. So even though it didn't work, it still committed those updates, and that's very sad. Yeah, we got 2 quotes right here. That's bad. Let's get rid of that quote. All right, I don't suppose, is there any chance at all of getting my salaries back? Or are you all going to be bigger now? Yeah, you're all bigger. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to bother going back in time and redoing this. The maximum salary is now 5,500. I just need to remember that. So let's make this thing 5,500. And let's do the compilation. And it compiles cleanly. Notice my compiler log is now free of error, so I can get rid of it. I'm going to do my little update. And there's my update. And right there, it's blowing up. Okay, so now to make it actually blow up rather than just basically produce a nice little error, I'm going to probably I'm going to create. No, I'll do this really brute force and ignorance. I'm going to go raise application error. Now remember, this guy here is a Oracle specific built-in procedure. So if you're on another database, you're gonna have to figure out another way to do that. Notice actually the tooltip gave me a little bit of help here. I need to pass in a number that's between negative 20,000 and negative 20,099, I think, 999. So that's good enough for now. I think this should do it. Let's do a rollback first of all, so that now my salaries are back to being like they were, which they are. And then let's do a little compilation. It compiles cleanly. Let's do a little update, and kaboom! Now we've actually got it blowing up for the right reason. Okay, so it's blowing up because it's bigger than 55,000. Awesome. Let's throw out the useless print statement. All right, so in fact, we don't even need our server output on now because it doesn't. Error messages will show up no matter whether the server output's on or not. And you'll notice again, there's our trigger. All right, cool. And because it blew up, by the way, it blew up real good, none of these salaries were changed. The entire update statement was denied. All right, cool. Now here's the problem. I had to hard code 55,000 in here. The other problem, well, that's good enough. That's good enough. So I had to hard code the 55,000 here. Now, I don't want to have to hard code 55,000. I want it just simply to deny any updates or inserts. Did I put the inserts? Updates or inserts if it's greater than the largest number here. So the first thing I need to know is, what is the largest number? Well, we can do that. I just need to have a variable for this. I got to go declare. I'm going to have a variable which I'm going to call vmaxsal, which, to be honest, at this point, I'm just going to leave it as a number. It's going to be a maximum salary. I've noticed it's 5,000, so that's 4 numbers. Let's assume we're never going to get bigger than 6 numbers, and they're integers. Okay. So first thing I need to know is, what is the maximum salary? So I need to go select the maximum salary from emp. Now this won't compile, because if you got a select statement inside of a program unit like this, it's gonna have to put this maximum salary into a variable. Otherwise, it's got nowhere to go. Like when you just run this statement on its own, if you run it outside, for example, if I run it outside over here, then, and we say, well, where does the max salary go? Well, the max salary is showing up on the screen. We need this to actually go into that number, the max sal. We need to go into the variable. So that's why this thing's mad at me now. I need to go select max sal into vmax sal. This guy is going to compile cleanly like a champ. And there it does. Compiles cleanly as a champ. Geez Louise, that's right. I don't have to worry about the rollback because it didn't allow the update. So you're thinking this should work, right? Actually, well, no, hang on, it shouldn't work yet. Logically speaking, I'm not using it. So it grabs the maximum salary, puts in the vmax sal, and I'm basically going to say, what the heck you do there? I'm going to say, if you're going to be bigger than that, blow up. Now, logically, this makes sense. Anybody in high school could figure out the code here. Grab the maximum salary. If the new salary is greater than the maximum salary, blow up. salary, which would be more than allowed. Probably should say more than largest salary, right? Which is, and I tell you what, let's be a little bit even more friendly. Concatenate that with the max sal, right? Perfect. Once you get really long, gross things like that, you might want to sort of just push it down a little bit like that. I think that looks a little bit nicer. All right. Looks good, right? This should work. Let's go ahead. Let's erase our shame. Let's go. And kaboom, it doesn't work. And it's interesting. It's saying the table is mutating. It's mutating. And so the trigger can't see it. What it's basically saying here is that this table is being changed. How do I know what the maximum salary is? The only reason I'm here is because you're updating the data on that table. The table is mutating. I can't read from the very same table I'm updating. That's what the mutating table problem is. I can't read from the very same table I'm updating. And so now what we got to do is figure out how to fix that. We're going to learn the code for that, and then we're going to go from there to fixing this trigger.